This from Dog Pound Daily, 4 takeaways from the Browns joint practices with the Eagles. Number 4, Mari Cooper did not have his best day, first day on Monday. DeJuan Jones is going to be a star. Number 2, the DBs had their hands full but held their own. Number 1, Browns offensive line had their hands full. And again, Conklin was banged up, didn't participate as much, but Eagles' defensive line is among the best. That's one of the reasons they're the favorites. None of that is really concerning. I don't know. I think it's early to – I like what I see from DeJuan Jones, but I'd slow down on naming him a starter or any of that.
Yeah, I'll slow the roll in calling him a star, but everything's got to be so encouraging. Like I've always thought this about DeJuan Jones. If he wants to be great, he will be great. He has everything you need, and he could have landed in a better situation. You know, he's not going to have to take on everything all right away. He gets to play behind Jack Conklin. He gets Bill Callahan to oversee his development, you know, and then you see the stuff he was doing in practice. And I'm not going to speak on whether he won or lost the rep against Brandon Graham, because that seems to be an area of contention. But he competed, man. He got out there, and that's a former All-Pro in Brandon Graham, you know, and he was able to stay in front of him. And that kind of experience will only help him grow and just slow the roll, let him develop at his own pace. But I definitely think that if he wants to be great, it's on the table for him.
He certainly wasn't overmatched, with what you're talking about. And you know what? He's a 4th-round pick. He's not supposed to come in 2 weeks into training camp, 3 weeks into training camp, be stalemating somebody of that stature. If he is, looks like you got a pretty good draft pick.
Yeah, he's already ahead of schedule. You know, I wouldn't try to propel him further than he needs to be, because there might come a time in the season they need him to step in. You know, so just let him build naturally how it's going, because it seems to be going well. You know, I don't think we need to propel him any further into that.
Anything that came out of the joint practices that concerned you? I wanted to hear that they went in and kind of did well. You know, last year you heard they didn't do well. They had finished up with the Dolphins, and the big thing was Dolphins were way ahead of the Browns, and it kind of played out that way in the regular season.
Yeah, no major areas of concern. You know, you hear things you would rather they played out a little differently. You know, I guess there was a lot of pressure on day 2, and Watson went through a couple interceptions off tip balls. You know, he definitely needs to protect the ball, but that's his practice. I'm not going to act like it was a life or death situation, like he was trying to make a play and then things happen. So you want to hear things are just staying on an upward trajectory, and you would rather them finish strong. They seem to start strong in these practices, but they really took it to the Eagles and made them mad, basically. And the Eagles came out on day 2, with something to play for. And then we're talking about practice. You know, you hurt their egos on day 1, and they defended themselves in day 2. I just hope they're able to keep this thing going, because they meet up in a regular season next year. So I really hope they meet up in preseason for some more joint practices next year. Could be entertaining.
You're sounding like Allen Iverson. You're talking about practice.
About practice.